If you're looking for how to draw brows, what is the golden ratio rule, and what shapes suits to which face, then keep on watching. This video was made for brow procedures, but anyone can follow. And in the first part, I will explain the golden ratio rule. In a second part, I will share most valuable tips. And in the third part, I will teach you how to draw brows and show you different shapes, how they can change our features. So let's dive in. Now, before teaching you the golden ratio rule, I just want to point out that it is still a very general rule, since our face features are so unique and it might really vary from person to person. But I will show you the closest rule you can use. So first, let's figure out where our front of the brow should start from. For that, I will draw these guiding lines. So first, what you should start from is mark your client's beginning of her eyes using simple thread that I showed on the video. Then find the middle line between these two lines, which is here. Then find another middle line between these two lines, which is here. And then you can start your brow between these two lines, right from the middle, which is the pink line on the other side. Of course, it could be slightly further or closer away, but don't go too close because otherwise you will have a unibrow. And again, for this side, you would start your brow from this line. Now, the second most important point is the arch. And weirdly, the pictures on the internet shows you that you have to start from the nose and connect with the eye to get the arch. But to be honest, what if a client has a wider nose? Then it would be completely out of the range. So the most practical point would be the middle of her lips and the edge of this black circle, which I don't know the name. Then we connect these two lines and we get the arch. The second point is the end of brow. It is connection between middle of her lips and the end of the eye. Now attention, why you should not use the golden ratio rule to draw two sides at the same time, measuring first one side, do a point, then go to another side, do a point, then back and forth, and kind of drawing two sides at the same time. First of all, your client might not like the shape you draw, and you spend time drawing two brows. And secondly, most important point, they will come out uneven because this rule is not very precise. So I really suggest to start from one side, draw it completely, agree with your client on a shape, and then only copy paste this brow to another side by the method I will link in the description or in the corner. Now more in details about how to draw brows and what shape suits to which face I will show you in the third part, so stay tuned. And now let's dive into tips. So what brow should I draw if my client doesn't have any preference? Tip number 1, you can start with a golden ratio rule and draw your base brow. Brow that suits to most of the clients and adjust from there by asking your client what changes does she want to make. My base brow I will show you in details in the third part. Tip number 2, you can gently stretch your client's brow to the sides to mimic the other shapes, to let her see and choose the shape she wants before you erase and redraw the whole brow. What if the rule doesn't really work? What shape should we draw? And tip number 3 would be to ask your client for preference, whether she wants to have thin, thick, what square arch, soft arch, what feeling does she want to have. And tip number 4, ask your client to provide you photos of the brow she wants. Actually better several days before the procedure, so that you can practice on paper or mannequin before she comes inside. And question to you guys, do you follow your client preference? or suggest doing your brow shape. Please leave your comment below, I'm very curious. And tip number 5, you should draw brow according to your client preference, but still suggest her to follow her original brow growth. The reason for that, because she might end up having 4 brows. And now we're coming to the third part where I will teach you how to draw brow and what is my base brows. Please check out the link on the screen. So I hope this video was useful. Leave your comment if you have more suggestions or tips on this video, and let's connect on Instagram. I would really love to hear your questions.